everyone. Welcome to a thing. I'm doing, yeah, I forgot.
Take 3.
Hi, everybody. Today we are meeting up with some of the members of the Cuddlefish Gang and talking about how we like to draw, how we draw our babies. So as we go around, we'll introduce ourselves and we'll do just a quick little show and tell on how we approach drawing children. So I'm Kaz Witness, and I'm a children's book author, illustrator, and a illustration instructor at the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design. And let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's go over here to Photoshop. Share. All right, can you see that?
Not yet. Yes.
Okay. So this is a drawing I did. I call her Vanellope, and you'll just notice that she has the big head. She's probably only like 2.5 heads high, big brown cheeks, big eyes. But for the purposes of a tutorial, of course, the Zoom instructions are in the way here. Let me get to fix baby 1. Here we go. So I went back to these Middle Ages paintings, and I decided to see what it would look like if I fixed them. So the reason why babies look so weird in these old paintings is mostly because they had this idea that Jesus was born like fully developed, like small, but a man. And so their painters couldn't really portray Christ as a baby at this time. So he ended up just kind of looking like a weird hybrid of things. So what I do, first I'm thinking about measurements. Now, this particular baby is like 5.5 heads high. He's actually more heads high than me. I think I'm only 5 heads high myself. But if we look at an actual 1-year-old baby, a 1-year-old baby is about 4 heads high, right? So this is what this is the big reveal here. So this was my first stab at making him look more like a regular, 1-year-old baby. And if we measure him, he is like 1, 2, 3, more like 3.5, 4 heads high. So I did this through a few different examples. So this one, so if you look here, I'll move this over here. This little baby, let's zoom in, because really we have to take a good look at this. This baby looks a lot like, have you seen Men in Black? This alien. There's a lot of similarities between these two characters. So this baby strikes me as being about a 9-month-old baby. So if I look at some reference, a 9-month-old baby is about 4 heads high. What was that about? So here's what I did for that one, and let me move it out of the way. So I made the baby bigger, and I'm always thinking about just this head proportion. Head proportion is always large compared to what an adult is. And the other thing to watch out for is the more you add in wrinkles or lines. I find this a lot with my students when they're drawing, they're adding texture and detail, but the more texture and detail you add, the older they look, because it starts to look like wrinkles. So that was baby number 2. Let's go over to baby number 3. So this, did I show you here, let me see where All right, so this does look like a grown baby man over here. I didn't even touch the other people in this particular painting, but oh my goodness, there's some hereditary something going on. And so, these calves were really overly exaggerated. So I just thin this out, and then just proportion wise, softening out so there's not so much line work around the eyes, and filling in a little bit of hair so it's not like a male receding hairline, and just softening the features. Less jowly, more cheeky. There is a difference between those two things. Let me see if there was one more in here. Number 4. Oh, there's one more. So so this isn't a Christ figure, but take a look at this. I mean, oh my goodness. So let me move the zoom out of the way here. So for this particular drawing, he still has some problems. But just increasing the head size can often resolve the part about drawing the child that doesn't look quite right. So if we measure again, this 1, 2, 3, 4-ish, and this is 1, 2, like 3.5. So that was what I did to show how I draw babies. And any thoughts or comments on that?
I love that you went back and looked at old artwork.
Yeah, me too.
Point,
Yeah.
counterpoint.
I kind of love that little tiny itty bitty one. It's like a
A little itty bitty baby. This one right here.
Baby. Yeah.
Look at their expressions are priceless. What is that sticking out of that kid's head, do you think?
I think it's glory.
Is it?
Yeah, just symbolic.
Hallelujah
Little
marks.
cross thingy.
Some glory antlers or something. Yeah. All
I
right.
thought maybe they installed handles or something.
This makes it much easier to carry the Christ.
Yeah, the top one is for reception.
He has 5G.
Where did you find these? Do you know?
Just
who
the
they are?
internet. If you
okay.
you type in medieval artwork or Christ paintings, yeah, you're gonna run into them. All right, that was mine. Yay!
Very good.
Who wants to go next?
Do you want to just point at whoever's next on the screencast?
Well,
And that
you're
way
next to me, Amber. Do you want to go?
Backfired.
There we go. All right. So my name is Amber. Though on social media, I write and illustrate under ZB Asterplume. And yeah, so my approach to drawing babies is nowhere near that scholarly or defined. And clearly my proportions are just a little bit more obnoxious. So when I did this drawing, I really had in mind what an old person was, what a young person is. So I felt like I needed to draw both so that I could, sort of think about and illustrate what it is about one or the other. So for me, babies, I often draw their heads almost as big as their bodies, as you can see on the proportion of this one. I draw their little bodies like a little bean and their little heads like basically like an oval. And I think for me, what really sells a baby versus even a child when I draw it is their noses. For whatever reason, I make the teeniest, tiniest noses and it starts looking more babyish. And just very, pale in the hair as opposed to very defined hair because, unless I had one of each. I had both my boy babies. I had the hairiest baby on the planet and the baldest baby. So they both ended up very hairy-headed adult boys, but couldn't have been more different in the beginning. But that idea that you don't see a lot of that soft fluff. So my guy here is probably, he's crawling. So it's what, 6-7 months more like, because he'd probably be sitting up. So again, similar to Kaz, I'm thinking of everything being round, everything being round. You just can't see their bones. You can't even feel their bones. I don't know if there's any other baby biters out there, but you know, you just want to squish them and bite them.
We do not condone the biting of
We do not
babies,
bite babies. That'll be my book.
even though we are
Ryan T.
tempted.
Higgins to do it. We do not bite our babies. Yeah, just everything gushy, fluid, and round. And then, you know, as Kaz was saying with the old man, then when I started to draw him in, and I actually didn't draw that old of a man. I think there's probably some folks out there that are like, if that's an old, but that idea that yes, the more it seems like every teeny line that you might put in every time you define anything, even around the face, I should have probably done one not profile, and I'm of course touching my face and pointing to it right now, so you could that nobody
Yeah, we
can
can't see you.
Yeah, but every little line that you put in on a face feels like it ages it up a little bit. So and you know, every bone that you can put in their hand, or the nose is bonier and the nose is bigger, the ears are bigger. As you get to an old person, as some of us know, everything like with cartilage gets bigger and
growing.
bonier. And
Noses and ears do not stop growing.
And hairier and well, I mean noses and ears, that is. Yeah, so I guess that's about it for me.
That's just adorable. That baby is just
round versus bony.
Yeah, I
Gorgeous.
do want to eat that baby.
I love
just
that
a
how
bite,
you,
right? Just a nibble.
Just a nip. Yeah.
I love
Just
the
a
neck,
nibble.
the neck fat that you added under the chin.
Oh,
you went away.
I did go in here.
That's
I can come back.
That's
We're
so
not
beautifully and subtly done right there with the little chin and then that neck fat. That's gorgeous.
That's a good biteable spot. I'm gritching
Yeah.
my teeth just thinking about it.
I've been staring at that neck fat the whole time.
That's very nice, Amber.
All righty, I'm gonna
That's
stop
gorgeous.
sharing.
I love it.
Stop share. Awesome.
Perfect. So
Okay.
Stan, would you like to go next to show us your baby?
Sure. So let me share my keynote.
I got my pin out to take notes on you guys.
You can always rewatch it.
Give me your
So
tricks.
this will be
All right.
posted.
So how I draw babies. I'll have to warn you ahead of time that I'm not going to be showing you any realistic way of drawing babies, because mine is a little bit more about, you know, how the different cues that you can draw to indicate age. So I'm going to actually go backwards and start with an adult. So this is my adult guy here, just built out of the smiley face. And if you'll notice that this guy looks like an adult, not only because he's got the forehead wrinkles, but also because he's got a long head, a tall head. His nose is sizable and his ears are sizable. So if we just take that as cues for how to make a character look younger, we can take that same smiley face and draw a character that has a wider head. And hopefully you guys agree that this looks more like a baby than this guy here.
It's kind of like Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. And then I typically draw their noses much smaller than my adults. And their ears tend to be smaller too, although that's not necessarily a key characteristic. And sometimes I'll draw my babies without noses at all, you know, just and I think that's it. That's what I got. Those are my keys to drawing babies.
I love it.
Yeah, good tips.
Yeah. Awesome. Check mark,
Excellent.
star, A+. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dan. And did you introduce yourself?
Oh, I did not. So I, like Kaz, I work at Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design, teaching sequential art. So I'm teaching students to do comics, which has been my muse for, gosh, the last, 45 years or so, at least as far back as I can remember. So, but I'm also a member of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, the Rocky Mountain chapter. And A lot of what I'm trying to do right now is create middle grade graphic novel content that's out on submission and in development.
Awesome.
And I'm a caricature artist, so I don't know. I don't know if you guys care.
I care. I don't know about the rest of them. I care.
All right, take it away, Heather. Do you want to introduce yourself? And
Yeah. So my name is Heather Brockman-Lee. I'm an author illustrator, and I don't have a direct connection with Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design,
except
for my friends. Is this working for you?
Yep.
Yep,
Okay. So I did some process videos. Oh, why did it stop? About how I draw babies. This is how fast I draw, always. So, I get a lot done. So the thing I think about when I'm drawing babies is that they're ridiculous. And I feel like they're like bumblebees. You know how bumblebees shouldn't be able to fly because they're so chubby and round and they have those little tiny wings. So I feel like babies shouldn't actually be able to like move about the world when I'm drawing them anyway. So I start with shapes and like Amber, bean body, big chubby head. I like to make their hands look like little starfishes because they're
Baby stars.
Yeah, like their fingers are so chubby.
We
they
called
can't-
them that when my kids were little. They're baby stars.
Yeah.
cute.
And knuckle notchies.
Oh, and the little diaper weight on the bottom.
Yeah, they're so bottom heavy. I mean, their center of gravity is their bottom, right? Isn't that what the
I
thing
think
with
that's
babies
true.
is?
It's kind of like a beanbag baby.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
talk,
that's a good way to think about it. That their
Weeble
bodies
wobble.
are bean bags. So then I just traced it onto some paper for painting because I was just
Nice.
sketching on like printer paper. And then this is also how fast I paint always.
is this gouache?
I wish. Yeah, this is acrylic gouache.
Oh, nice.
I like it because it doesn't reactivate. So when it's wet, you can really blend it and get some nice mushy effects and creamy effects that way. But then it doesn't reactivate if you go over it.
So when it's dry, it's dry. You're not doing anything to that. But then it's pretty opaque. So if you go over it,
you can make it really transparent. And sometimes I use it and it looks a little bit like watercolor.
oh,
So it's pretty versatile. I kind of resisted it for a long time because I never liked painting in acrylic. So I was painting in watercolor and gouache a lot. And then I kind of caved in and tried it. And I was like, oh, I should have tried this years ago.
right.
And what is the actual product of that one?
What do you mean?
Like, is it Grumbacher or
Oh, Holbein. It's Holbein. That's my favorite brand of pretty much everything, like watercolor paint, regular gouache, acrylic gouache, and colored pencils. I love Holbein. So they should sponsor me probably.
hashtag Holbein?
Holbein, if you're watching, sponsor me.
At least a couple free things, just saying.
Oh, little bunny ears. How cute.
For Easter.
Like what parent doesn't cram bunny ears on their kid if they celebrate Easter, right?
Right. I tried to this morning. My 10 and 12-year-old were a little resistant to that.
Yeah, my babies were resistant to that when they were babies too. You get the picture. We've also tried it with my dog, and she doesn't cooperate either.
I like how that bled while it was wet to the yellow end of the.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
balloons.
It's fun.
Oh, we
And
see. We can see the paint on screen now. That's nice.
And then I'm just finishing it out with colored pencil. I thought I would still have things to say at this point, but
Do you do most of your artwork analog and then take it in and do digitally, or is it just depend on what you're working on?
it depends. It depends. Like I'm working on a graphic novel project right now that's like not anywhere near submission, but I considered doing it traditionally and then realized that was probably absurd. But I'm doing 2 picture books right now, and I really wanted to do them traditionally because I have this feeling that I want to be able to see the page like the readers are going to see the page. And when I'm looking at it on a screen, I don't get that sense. And I also...
Those mechanical colored pencils?
Oh, those are amazing. Yeah. They're Pilot Eno, I think they are. Eno. Get them. You can find them in like packs. And I buy extra lead for them. The blue ones are my favorite. So I use those constantly, but yeah, those are great. So what I've been
E-N-O?
E-N-O. So what I actually usually do, Kaz, is I do the sketches on my iPad so that I can get them right, because I feel like revising on the iPad is so much easier. And then once they're good, I just print them out on like cheap paper, and then I trace them onto the paper I'm going to paint them on.
Oh, interesting. Oh, look at that. So cute.
It was my first time trying gums on the baby. I think it came out okay. Does it
Yeah.
get too creepy?
A little creepy, but
little
like
creepy.
and babies are a little creepy in the gummy way too. I totally a baby. Adorable.
I love this curly Q knee.
And I like
Did I miss something? How did you get that pattern on the clothes? Was that a white colored pencil?
Magic.
Oh.
magic. That was
Heather,
awesome.
what are you using? That was very nice. What you used in Holbein? What are they? They're not watercolors?
Acrylic gouache.
Oh. I like Holbein too. I'm a big fan of Holbein.
Yeah, if you thin them out with water, they behave a lot like watercolor.
Well,
But they won't lift though, right? They're like not like
Right.
watercolor. Yeah.
They don't lift, so yeah, you can't lift. I mean, when it's still wet, you can lift, but you can't re-wet it and then lift. But you can go over it with lighter colors, because if you just adjust the opacity by not adding as much water. So it's a different look. You don't get like the, with watercolor, you get the kind of the glow from the white paper shining through the pigment. And so obviously, if you're doing anything opaque, you're going to lose a little bit of that and have to find it elsewhere.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Awesome. Love it. All right, Larry, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, I've got something on my desktop. How do I get it on there? Up?
You can share your screen, but tell us who you are first.
Oh, Larry Day, illustrator, not writer, but I've been illustrating since 1932. I have.
I'm trying to do math, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, he's actually, he's Captain America.
I scare myself. Yeah, so I'm also a storyboard artist for commercials for TV. Been doing that for longer than children's picture books. And what else? I have nothing going on right now contractual wise, so I've got some dummies that we got one sent out now. I collaborate sometimes with my wife Miriam, and we have a couple. We're working on one right now, and so that's in progress. But and I also do a lot of painting in the footsteps of Heather's father. A lot of watercolor painting outside, and what else?
And you're amazing, in case you were going to mention that.
Doing a series of doing some cartoons now that are getting published up here in Carbondale in the Silver Store. It's a lot of fun because I think like most of you who have a connection with cartoonists, I think the cartoonists are such a big influence on me because the cartoonists have a way of, as Stan knows, especially of eliminating the what you don't need, just getting it down to its. You gotta send the message in few lines,
right?
And I think it's always difficult to eliminate stuff in your. I don't know about you guys, but I start way too complicated, and then I start eliminating things and killing all these.
Darling, yeah.
But I was drawing babies for quite a while in storyboards mostly. I drew some babies in this book that is now out of print.
Oh, no, we can see it. It's backwards to you, but it's forwards to us. Yes.
Well, on the end papers, I drew. This is about a kid who gets a new baby. So on the first end papers, I drew it like this.
Oh my goodness.
So cute.
And then the end and back end papers, I added the sibling. They're doing things together.
Oh,
That's a great
Oh,
baby.
that's the sweetest, reading a book together and holding the toes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very limber, which is a baby thing, right? Very, very
Right.
limber, which you guys said already. A lot of the stuff you guys have said already is what I practice too. So their heads are bigger, their eyes, there's more forehead like this. And the mouths, there's less chin, and there's always a little, dewlap underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Ears are usually smaller, but that's not always the case. You can always it always kind of surprises you when you see a baby with big ears. The
Like in a
eyebrows,
good way.
yeah, the eyebrows are not real heavy. They can be heavy, but usually they are lighter.
Mhm.
And the noses, like Stan said, the nose is, and Amber, you may have said this, I don't remember, but the noses are either just a couple little dots or not there at all. The eyes are usually larger than you think they would be, proportionate wise. And the lips are usually exaggerated too, and smaller. Anyway, that's the same principle I use for animals too, drawing animal babies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same principles, just an animal,
Right. Is that because animals are, I guess they are, animals are like that proportionally. That's what gives them that kind of cute look, the thing that makes us want to like hug them and kiss them and protect them.
Yeah, I think that's how we associate with babies, right?
Right.
Bear or something. But I can show you on my desktop.
Okay, great.
I can
I'm
figure
at the
out.
bottom of your screen. If you can see the share screen arrow, click that, should get you up. Oh, I see your babies.
See it? This is the
Uh-huh.
one.
There
Can
you
see
go.
that?
Yes.
Yeah,
we can see
I
them.
just did this before I zoomed on here.
Oh my goodness.
So, and yeah, you guys, when you guys color, I noticed too, one thing you all doing is coloring it is you keep the color simple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I was drawing these this morning, I used one of my favorite pens is a Pentel,
Mm-hmm.
and it smears.
I like how it's bled.
Yeah, it bleeds. It bleeds a
Yeah.
lot. So
It's shadow.
that's why you see the bleeding there. But I also am using my new favorite pencil, which Heather.
Oh, you're due for.
Yeah, I think we need to get him another one.
We're gonna do a little Kickstarter or something. Get you some.
And you're right. Managers is the
I got
only
a box of them. I'm sending you one.
thing.
2.
But
Yeah,
kids
those are my favorite.
also notice, like the body language of a baby, like you guys noticed too. The body language is different than an adult.
Now, Larry, are you drawing these from your memory or just from your imagination, or are you drawing them from reference?
No, there's no reference on these. Just
You're
there's
just
only one that I started this morning by reference, which is in the top right. It's a light pencil.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
the
a,
infant with the hat.
yeah. Somebody just had a new baby, and I thought I'd start there, but then I quickly switched to. I've got more confidence in not drawing from reference.
Wow.
So these are just really quick drawings. I would refine these as I went, but the way they move is different. They're uncoordinated, but yet their fingers don't line up. They all always do things that aren't quite as adult coordinated gestures.
I love the sleeping baby with just that arm fully out. It's just so authentic to what a baby does, what a baby feels like. The little toes up in the air.
Yeah.
Just you've captured it just perfect.
They also do a lot of yelling and screaming.
Yeah, they do that.
So there's one in here. I've got it. You can see it on the left.
Yeah, totally.
It's screaming. The problem with that is if you make it scream too much, it looks like an old man.
Well, Well, it's because the lines, right? Because you're starting
Yeah,
to introduce
right.
more lines.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
the cool thing about what Stan showed is that you can indicate a baby in so few lines.
It almost works better that way. The simpler, the better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, adorable, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for sharing your tips and tricks on how to draw babies. And we hope everyone got a lot out of that. And we would love to see your drawings of babies. So if you want to share that with us, please do. And follow us and check us out on all our social media. Ta-da!
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.